What's up, investors? It's the Russian dude. During the most recent FOMC meeting, Jerome Powell did seem kinda hesitant and uncertain, which definitely did not provide some clarity for the near future for the stock market and for investors and for traders. So let's talk about all of this right now. And in addition to this information, I will provide you probably with some facts that you might have missed. And so yeah, long story short, the Federal Reserve did keep the rates at the very same level of 5.25 to 5.5%, which is pretty much the very same rates from the last summer of 2023. And at this very moment, the rates are the highest in America for the last 20 years. And some of the major statements which were made are the following. First of all is that the economic activity does look like it's getting back on track. The unemployment is just going a little bit higher, and the inflation is like it's kinda low, but it is not yet where we want it to be. So as you can see, every single statement what you just heard, it is like all kinda in balance. It's like almost there, but not exactly where they want it to be before making some pivotal changes. For this reason, the committee said that it will only make sense to start cutting the rates whenever they're gonna be confident that the inflation is steadily going towards its target of 2%. The main word here is confident, which does not look like it's the case right now. Even Jerome Powell himself, he did mention that a lot of members of the committee, they are acknowledging the fact that the cuts will have to happen eventually at some near future, but they're not yet ready to do it. For example, when they were talking about the inflation, instead of saying elevated, he was just saying somewhat elevated. So as you can see, it did not change the fact that the inflation is still above the target. For this reason, also not a single clear sign whether rate cuts will happen in September or not. Well, there was no clear signs at all, simple as that. He then also mentioned that obviously the Federal Reserve will continue to closely monitor the labor market along with the inflation, and if there are some drastic and unexpected changes, the Federal Reserve might very well keep the rates wherever they are right now. And whenever he was asked for how long these rates will stay elevated, he said for as long as needed. He was even asked directly whether the rate cuts will happen in September, for what Jerome Powell answered that no clear decision has yet been made, we just have to continue monitor the situation. And at this very moment, Jerome Powell ultimately mentioned that he does have several scenarios in his head under which there might be only one rate cut, there might be even multiple rate cuts, but also the rates might even stay exactly where they are for the remainder of 2024. So as you can see, not a single clear sign was given to us. There is still uncertainty, doubt, maybe there is not that much fear, but yes, there is huge uncertainty about the near future, and since September is like literally 2 months away, some very promising data for us need to be released, most likely in terms of obviously inflation and the labor market. Otherwise, even though the market participants, they do expect that the September will be the month of the first rate cut, well, as you can see, unless there are some drastic changes, we might not see it in September as well. If you ask my personal opinion, I am hopeful. I do believe that there is a pretty good possibility that there will be at least one rate cut by the end of 2024, and since Jerome Powell, he does not like to disappoint the market, they might do it in September, even though it might be a little bit too early, but this might be the only interest rate cut for 2024. So guys, please let me know down below in the comments whether you agree with this or not, and as always, thanks so much for watching, like this video, subscribe to my channel if this was interesting and informative for both, and see you tomorrow.